Hi everyone, welcome to our VIP tour of your heart. Today we'll discover the amazing engine inside your chest that keeps you alive every second. First, let's find out where your heart lives. It sits in the middle of your chest, in a special space called the mediastinum, between your left and right lungs. The top, or base, is near your second rib, and the tip, or apex, points down to your fifth rib. Here's what you'll learn on our tour. The parts and layers of the heart, how blood travels through it, what heart sounds mean, how the heart's doors or valves work, and how doctors use EKGs to check your heart's rhythm. We'll also talk about important heart terms and how your heart keeps beating in a perfect cycle. Don't worry if you're new to this, everything will be simple and fun. By the end, you'll know your heart inside and out, and you'll be able to impress your friends with cool facts. Ready? Let's get started. Let's get a little scientific. Do you know exactly where your heart sits? It's in a special space called the thoracic cavity, right in the middle of your chest, in an area called the mediastinum. If you could send your heart a letter, you'd address it to the heart, mediastinum, thoracic cavity, between the lungs. Most people tap the left side of their chest, but your heart is almost in the center, just a little to the left. The top part is called the base, and the pointy bottom is the apex, which tilts left. That's why you feel your heartbeat strongest there. Your heart is snuggled between your right and left lungs, protected in front by your breastbone and in back by your spine. It's like a VIP guest, surrounded by bodyguards. The heart is wrapped in a special double-layered sac called the pericardium. The outer layer is the parietal pericardium, and the inner layer is the visceral pericardium. Between them is a tiny bit of slippery serous fluid, like a drop of soap, so your heart can move smoothly as it beats. So quick recap, your heart lives in the mediastinum, inside the thoracic cavity, between your lungs, protected by ribs and wrapped in the pericardium. It's perfectly placed to pump blood everywhere. Now let's peek inside and see what this boss's office looks like. Now that we know where the heart lives, let's look inside and see its amazing layers. Imagine slicing a cake to see all the colorful parts inside. Your heart has layers too, each with a special job. The innermost layer is called the endocardium. It's super smooth, like the inside of a new shoe, so blood can slide through the heart without getting stuck. Next comes the myocardium. This is the thick, strong muscle layer, cardiac muscle. It's like the engine of the heart, squeezing and pumping to move blood everywhere. Wrapping the outside is the epicardium, also called the visceral pericardium. It's like a thin, protective skin that hugs the heart. Outside of that is the pericardium, or parietal pericardium. It's like a tough, double-layered bag that keeps the heart safe and in place, almost like a sturdy backpack. Between the two layers of the pericardium is a tiny space with slippery serous fluid, like a drop of soap or oil. This helps the heart move smoothly as it beats. If too much fluid builds up, it's called a pericardial effusion. If it squeezes the heart so it can't pump, that's called pericardial tamponade, like the heart is being hugged too tightly and can't work. So your heart has a smooth inside, a strong muscle, a protective skin, and a sturdy bag with a slippery slide. Each layer helps your heart do its job every single day. Next, let's meet the special wall and the heart's helpers that keep it working its best. Imagine your heart is like a house with two big rooms, right and left, separated by a strong wall called the septum. This wall keeps the blood on each side from mixing, so everything stays organized. Now, just like any house needs its own water pipes, your heart has special blood vessels called coronary arteries. These tiny tubes wrap around the outside of your heart and bring it fresh, oxygen-rich blood so it can keep pumping strong. After the heart uses the oxygen, the used-up blood needs to go somewhere. That's where the coronary veins come in. They collect the tired blood and carry it away from the heart muscle. All these veins come together in a special spot called the coronary sinus. It's like a big drain that collects the used blood and sends it back to be refreshed. So, the septum keeps the heart's rooms separate, the coronary arteries bring in fresh supplies, the veins clean up, and the sinus is the big drain. Together, they help your heart work like the best pump ever. Next, let's follow a single drop of blood on its amazing journey through this awesome system. Meet Ruby, our brave little red blood cell. Let's follow her as she travels through your heart and body, learning the real names of each stop along the way. Ruby starts in the body's veins. traveling through the superior and inferior vena cava. These big veins bring her into the right atrium, the first chamber of the heart. Next, Ruby passes through the tricuspid valve, a one-way door, into the right ventricle. This chamber will give her a strong push. When the right ventricle squeezes, Ruby moves through the pulmonary semilunar valve into the pulmonary arteries. These special vessels carry her away from the heart and toward the lungs. In the lungs, Ruby drops off carbon dioxide and picks up fresh oxygen. This is called pulmonary circulation, blood traveling from the heart to the lungs and back. Ruby returns to the heart through the pulmonary veins, entering the left atrium. This chamber is the heart's welcome back lounge for oxygen-rich blood. Next, Ruby travels through the bicuspid valve, also called the mitral valve, into the left ventricle, the heart's strongest chamber. With a powerful squeeze, the left ventricle sends Ruby through the aortic semilunar valve and out the aorta, the body's biggest artery. Ruby travels through arteries, then tiny capillaries, delivering oxygen to every cell. Afterward, she returns through veins back to the heart, and the journey starts again. This is called systemic circulation. So, Ruby's trip through the heart and body is a never-ending loop. Pulmonary circulation to the lungs, systemic circulation to the body, and back again. That's how your heart keeps you alive, every single day. Imagine your heart as a busy house with 4 special doors called valves. These valves make sure blood always moves forward and never sneaks back. The first 2 are called the atrioventricular, or AV valves. The tricuspid valve is on the right side, and the mitral, or bicuspid, valve is on the left. They act like one-way doors between the top and bottom rooms of your heart. When the heart squeezes, these valves close tight so blood can't flow backward. It's like a door that only lets you go one way, no turning around. The other 2 are called semilunar valves. The pulmonary valve leads to the lungs, and the aortic valve leads to the rest of your body. They open when blood is ready to leave the heart and close to stop it from coming back in. Here's how it works. The heart fills up, AV valves open to let blood in, then close. Next, the semilunar valves open to let blood out, then close to keep it moving forward. This happens about 70 times every minute. If a valve gets stuck or leaky, you might hear a funny sound like a squeak or a squish. That's why doctors listen carefully to your heartbeat. But when all 4 valves work perfectly, your heart runs smoothly and keeps you feeling great. Now let's hear what those valves sound like. Get ready for your heart's own drum solo. Have you ever listened to a heartbeat? Maybe you pressed your ear to someone's chest or used a stethoscope. What you hear is the sound of your heart's valves snapping shut, like a tiny drum playing inside. The sound goes, lub-dub, lub-dub. But what does that mean? The lub is the first heart sound, made when the AV valves close. The dub is the second sound, when the semilunar valves snap shut. Your heart is like a drummer in a band, keeping the rhythm going all day and night. Each lub and dub is a sign that your heart's doors are working perfectly, opening and closing to keep blood moving the right way. Want to try it? Say lub in a deep voice for the AV valves, then dub in a quick voice for the semilunar valves. Lub, dub, that's your heart's special song. Doctors listen to your heart's beat to check if it's steady and strong. If they hear a whoosh or a click, it could mean a valve isn't closing just right, and your heart needs a little extra care. There's another way to see your heart's rhythm, a special test called an EKG. It records your heart's electrical signals as lines and spikes, showing every beat and every lub-dub. Next time you feel your pulse or hear your heartbeat, remember, your heart is always playing its drum solo just for you, steady, strong, and full of life. Ever wonder what makes your heart beat in perfect time, all day and night? It's thanks to a special electrical system inside your heart, like a built-in Wi-Fi that keeps everything on schedule. It all starts with the SA node, also called the pacemaker. This tiny spot at the top of your right atrium sends out an electrical spark, telling your heart time to beat. The spark travels to the AV node, then down the bundle of his, and finally through the Purkinje fibers. This path makes sure the top of the heart squeezes first, then the bottom, like a wave. On an EKG, the P wave shows the atria squeezing. This is called atrial systole. Next comes the QRS complex, when the ventricles squeeze hard to pump blood out. That's ventricular systole. After the squeeze, the T wave appears. This is when the heart relaxes and refills with blood, called ventricular diastole. The cycle repeats over and over. During each cycle, heart valves open and close in a special order, so blood always moves forward and never backward. That's what makes the Lub-Dub sound. Cardiac output is how much blood your heart pumps every minute. It depends on your heart rate, how fast your heart beats, and stroke volume, how much blood is pumped with each beat. Your body controls your heart with two remote controls. The sympathetic system is like a turbo button, speeding up your heart when you're excited or scared. The parasympathetic system is like a chill-out button, slowing your heart when you're calm and relaxed. So your heart is a smart, hard-working machine, beating in perfect rhythm, thanks to its own electrical system and your body's controls. Take care of it, and it will take care of you. If you learned something new, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching. Keep your heart strong.